Hey there, divers! Today we're taking the Spectre dive boat to Santa Cruz Island. Looking at a map of the east end of Santa Cruz, we're going to be diving Sentinel Point, Potatoe Point, and Scorpion Anchorage in that order. Diving with the Spectre, you're going to start your day off at the Ventura Harbor parking lot. I like to park in that red marqueed area, walk down the sidewalk this way, past the shops, and to the boat. You're going to take your gear down this ramp here, real nice and careful. It can get very steep during low tide. Take a left and walk past the fishing boats. Make sure to arrive nice and early to give yourself plenty of time to gear up and get on the boat so you can relax and enjoy the delicious breakfast sandwiches and other snacks available. Here we are heading out of the Ventura Harbor entrance. Unfortunately, today was one of the 3 rain days we get per year here in Southern California. It was a little bit gray, a little bit dark, a little bit wet on our way out. We ended up putting our dry suits on pretty early and just enjoying the ride without having to worry about getting our undergarments wet. Normally on the Spectre, you'll be heading to Anacapa Island, visible here on the right side of the screen, but due to conditions, Captain Nate will always take you to the best possible location, and today, with the strong south swell we had, that meant heading over to Santa Cruz instead. Thankfully, as we got closer to Santa Cruz, the skies opened up a little bit. We got some blue, we got some sun, things warmed up a little bit, and it was just a lot nicer for the rest of the day. Well, except for this little cell we hit just as we were coming up to Santa Cruz. About 20 minutes before we get to the first location, Nate's gonna warn everyone to get your gear on. Arriving in Sentinel Point, we see that there's a ton of sea lions hanging out in the cove. We get a little briefing from the captain. Nate always gives some fantastic briefings, where to go, where not to go, and where you're guaranteed to die. As soon as we get in the water, we're instantly being buzzed by sea lions. The boat is anchored up in about 30 feet of water, but we're going to head in a little shallower to see if we can't get closer to those big balls of sea lions. And as we do head in shallower, we get more and more of our fuzzy flippered friends. Not only does the amount of sea lions increase, but visibility gets a little bit better, the water gets a little bit more blue, and just a little bit prettier for our pictures. As you can see in these clips, we're in a little more than 10 feet of water. I think the average depth for this dive was about 14 feet over the course of an hour. It's really something magical to watch these pinnipeds swimming around in this super shallow water, tons of sunlight, little kelp strands about, and they're just having a good time. I think this dive gave me more sea lion interaction time than my entire dive career up to this point. I've always been told that sea lions are playful little guys. They'll kind of mimic your actions and do what you do. Of course, I've never seen that. You can see me giving them a little barrel roll here, and none of them do it back to me. I don't know what everyone else is doing to get the sea lions to play with them, but they never seem to want to mirror me. Most of these sea lions seem pretty small and young, but then there's this one big dude that just went by right there. It was kind of hanging out, and the others were giving him a lot of distance. You can tell he's an older male because of the big hump on his forehead. While I didn't get to capture any mirroring behavior from the sea lions, I did get lots of nice close-up interactions, just looking at themselves in my dome port or giving me a quick flyby with a bubble blow. These younger, smaller ones are so cute and curious. I love when they're hanging upside down, kind of looking at you. The lions really didn't seem to be fans of my video lights. Every time I turned them on, the whole crew would just scatter, and they seemed to be hesitant to come back over to my area. At this point, we're starting to get really shallow, tucked up against the island in this cove. Our gate time's about to end, so we're going to start heading out deeper. Give the boys one last wave before we go. Lots of fun pictures of the sea lions from this dive. I'm rocking an Olympus OM1 and an Ikelite housing, and today I was shooting with an 8mm fisheye. Heading out deeper toward the boat, you can see the sea lions are kind of following us out, giving us a little wave goodbye. On our way in, we ran into this really photogenic little California sea hare here, a nice giant spiny sea star, and an ochre star. Back on the boat, we're moving over to our next dive site. This one is going to be the tip of Potato Point here. It's a very cool piece of rock. There's a couple of little swim-throughs that you can just make out off the waterline, and a couple of really fun little cormorants nesting. Here's what those swim-throughs look like from below. There was a little bit too much movement in there for me to really be comfortable, so we're not going to spend a lot of time in this area. Say cheese. I didn't end up getting a lot of video on this site, but we followed that wall down to about 60 feet. Had a good time looking at the gorgonians and little growy things. We've ended up finding this cool little swim-through cavern to check out. A little tight on the exit, but nothing too crazy. With dive 2 done, it's time for a little lunch. The Spectre has a fantastic meal selection. Tri-tip steak, chicken, or veggie burger are the typical options. Up next for dive 3 is the Big Scorpion Anchorage. Again, not a lot of footage, not a lot to see today. It was a little bit murky, a little bit green, but here's a little behind the scene, lining up a nice shot of this gorgonian. And with that, the dive day is done. Time for a couple beers, a brownie sundae, and a little time hanging out in the sun. The Spectre crew will always write the names of your sites down on the door to the galley, just in case you want them for your logbook. The ocean was positively placid on our ride home, nice and flat, and we were joined by a couple of white-sided dolphins on our way into the shore. With that, another lovely day on the Spectre is in the books.